so much for this warm welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I'm so honored to be spending this time with you this evening among people who I think in the state of New Hampshire know the responsibility, the power that comes with the thumb on the scale that you have in American democracy. And I feel sometimes like I'm interacting with a vetting committee for deciding what the future is going to be like. And I know that decision time is approaching. And I'm here to ask you, first and foremost, to visualize something with me that I think is the image we need to hold in mind as we go through this election and choose the next president. We're ready to see an end to the chaos and the corruption. I think we're ready to see an end to the tweets. Just to start our day a little bit differently every day. But I have to tell you, the reason I'm asking you to picture that day, to really picture it, is not just to describe something that we can look forward to. It's to really challenge you to think about what America is going to need on that day. Because the truth is, our problems will not be solved on that day. The sun's going to come up over a country that'll be even more divided, even more polarized, even more torn up over politics than we are right now. Think about everything we've been through. Think about everything we are about to go through as a country. And on that day, it will be a tender moment for a country very much needing to be brought together and unified. And something else is going to be true, which is that in addition to being divided and crying out for some kind of unity, this is also going to be a country still facing the enormous, urgent crises that helped us get here in the first place. We will still have a climate accelerating toward the point of no return. We will still have an economy where the numbers on a page look good and the stock market goes up, but far too many Americans finally got to fight just to hold on to what they've got. We'll still have a gun violence emergency in the United States of America. We'll still have a political system that is not responding to us. So it's not about going back to normal. In fact, if normal was working, a guy like Donald Trump never would have got within cheating distance of the Oval Office in the first place. So I'm running to be the president who can stand on the rubble that day and gather up the pieces and address both of those things at the same time. Because if we do one but forget the other, we're not going to make it. We've got to address these colossal challenges that require urgent and immediate action, and we got to do it in a way that actually unifies it, not further polarizes the American people. And that is the business of the next president of the United States. Now, that's obviously a tall order, but here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it by coming together around the values that make us American. And those values, correctly understood, can mobilize an American majority to get these things done, can help us unify, but also point us in a very specific and a progressive direction, if we take those values into account in the right way. I'm thinking about a value like patriotism, love of country. But I don't mean the cheap nationalism of a president hugging the flag, literally, right? Hugging the flag, or throwing a military parade for his own gratification. I'm talking about really recognizing what that flag represents, the values and the system and the freedoms that that flag represents. By the way, among those values is the idea that when someone blows the whistle on official misconduct at the highest level, that is an act of loyalty to the republic for which it stands and deserves to be protected. I'm talking about a deeper, richer patriotism, a love of country that is based on understanding that the country is made of people. And you cannot love the country if you hate half of the people who are in it. So what does it really mean to defend America, to stand up for America, to keep America safe going forward? Well, it certainly means a lot for what we've got to do overseas. including restoring U.S. credibility and making sure that no ally would ever again question whether it is a good idea to bet their lives on the credibility of the United States of America. That's a national security concern of ours. But protecting our country and keeping our country safe, that starts right here at home. It is why, for example, we must act to ensure that the Second Amendment can never be twisted into an excuse to do nothing at all about gun violence that threatens our schools, our churches, our shopping centers, and our places of worship. And we're really serious about protecting our country. That means protecting our future, which is why we must confront climate change as the global security challenge of our time and lead the world in doing something about it. If we follow these values, they can bring us together and they can also motivate us to go forward. I'm thinking a lot lately about faith. Another example of the kind of values that could be used to bring us together, but right now have been used to wedge us apart. Because faith is being weaponized, because people are being told they don't belong because of their faith. Well, the whole idea of this country, how we got started, the Constitution, certainly the presidency, stands for the idea that this country belongs to people of each religion and of no religion equally. That's a founding principle of the U.S. Constitution. And we can honor and uphold that principle. And at the same time, give those who are guided by faith a choice. And that choice doesn't have to be the sort of thing going on in the White House right now. I'm offering a presidency where those who are guided by faith can look at the White House and not have to scratch their head and wonder, whatever happened to I was hungry and you fed me? I was a stranger and you welcomed me. That is the opportunity. And we come together around those values.